Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at human nutrition, but we're doing it through a really specific and honestly a pretty brilliant lens. I want you to imagine your body not just as flesh and bone, but as a multi-million-dollar, state-of-the-art, high-performance sports car. The human engine is an absolute marvel of engineering. But just like any elite machine out there, its performance is entirely dependent on what you're putting in the tank. I mean, think about it for a second. If you owned an incredibly expensive luxury sports car, would you ever dream of pulling up to the pump and filling it with cheap, contaminated fuel? No way, right? You'd want premium. Yet, when it comes to our own bodies, machines that are infinitely more complex and valuable than any car, we do exactly that all the time. We pump our engines full of highly processed, low-quality fuel. So today, we're going to explore exactly why food is so much more than just a quick way to kill your hunger. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our official owner's manual for today. First up, fueling the human machine, then powering the onboard computer. After that, we'll check out the body's defense system, smooth operations and maintenance, and finally wrap up with sustainable driving habits. Let's get the engine running. All right, section 1, fueling the human machine. This is where macronutrients come in as your premium fuel. You see, every single bite of food you take provides the essential biochemical fuel your organs absolutely require to function. If you think of your stomach as the combustion chamber, your heart is the high-pressure fuel pump, and your liver is that heavy-duty oil filter keeping the whole system clean. And to keep this entire setup humming perfectly, you need very specific fluids and parts. Protein, that builds the structural chassis, your muscles. Carbs power the engine directly. Healthy fats keep all the gears lubricated so your hormones are in check. And your vitamins and minerals act as the precise timing belt, regulating hundreds of chemical processes across all your organs. So what happens when we use the wrong fuel? Well, when you consume highly processed foods that are just loaded with refined sugars, you get this massive, rapid spike in blood sugar, and then boom, an immediate crash. It's exactly like flooring the gas pedal and then slamming on the brakes. You just end up tired, cranky, and totally unable to concentrate. On the flip side, balanced meals with whole grains, fruits, veggies, and lean proteins release energy gradually. It's literally the biological equivalent of setting your car to a smooth, steady cruise control. You just remain alert and productive for so much longer. Moving on to section 2, powering the onboard computer. Let's talk about the brain and our emotions. Your brain is without a doubt the most complex piece of machinery in the vehicle. Get this. Even though it makes up only about 2% of your body weight, it burns a massive 20% of your fuel. Just like an athlete needs physical fuel, your brain requires a constant, high-quality supply of nutrients, things like omega-3 fatty acids from salmon or walnuts, just to support memory and decision-making. Now, what's really interesting about this is how our fuel choices immediately dictate cognitive output. Imagine student 1 runs on premium fuel: eggs, whole grain toast, some fruit, and water. During an exam, they've got steady concentration. Meanwhile, student 2 skips breakfast and just grabs some sugary snacks. Even if they studied exactly as hard, their onboard computer basically crashes. Your diet literally dictates your mental performance in real time. And you know, this goes way beyond just passing a test. It actually affects how you feel on a daily basis. There's this constant communication network running inside you called the gut-brain connection. Basically, a healthy digestive system supports the production of neurotransmitters that heavily influence your mood and emotional balance. You can honestly think of nutritious foods as vital software updates for your mood. It just goes to show that nutrition doesn't only build the physical body, it directly programs the mind too. On to section 3, the body's defense system. Let's look at immunity. Every single day, your human car is driving through some pretty hazardous environments, constantly encountering harmful bacteria and viruses. Your immune system, that's your onboard security mechanism, and its job is to identify and destroy these threats before they can do any damage. But of course, security requires resources. So here's your premium fuel checklist for immunity. Specific micronutrients found heavily in fruits and vegetables, things like vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, zinc, and antioxidants, these act as your daily maintenance crew. They help your immune cells respond incredibly efficiently. Now, eating well won't magically make you invincible, but people running on this premium fuel absolutely recover much faster and experience way fewer illnesses. Next up, section 4, smooth operations and maintenance. We're talking digestion, aging, and keeping the rust away. Because look, we aren't just talking about getting through the day here. We're talking about getting through the decades. Many of the leading causes of death worldwide, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, are heavily influenced by our lifestyle choices. They are essentially the human equivalent of letting your engine rust out over time. There's this hazardous fuel blend out there of processed foods, saturated fats, added sugars, and excessive sodium, and it rapidly accelerates that wear and tear. In contrast, running on things like fruits, legumes, nuts, and lean proteins actively lowers blood pressure, regulates blood sugar, and reduces inflammation. Eating healthy is a direct, measurable investment in preventing future rust. A huge part of this long-term maintenance comes down to weight regulation, which relies almost entirely on the type of fuel you're choosing. Highly processed foods are chemically engineered to be hyper-appealing, but they offer almost zero nutritional value. They actively trick your engine into over-consuming without ever actually triggering your full sensor. Whole foods, on the other hand, naturally regulate the system. Because they're naturally higher in fiber, protein, and water content, they make you feel properly satisfied and full for much longer. And this brilliantly illustrates how proper maintenance brings some pretty incredible, long-term visible perks. Proper nutrition actually slows down the natural muscle and bone loss we experience as we age, but you'll also see it on the outside. Nutrient-rich foods support stronger hair, healthier nails, brighter eyes, and keep your skin elastic through proper hydration and cellular protection. You are literally enhancing your appearance and ensuring that you can live an active, independent life much later on. Honestly, it works far better than any expensive cosmetic product ever could. Finally, we've arrived at Section 5, Sustainable Driving Habits. Building habits for life. Having the owner's manual is great and all, but you actually have to adopt the right driving philosophy to maintain these habits for a lifetime without just burning out or stalling the engine. And the single most important rule to remember here? Balance is way more important than perfection. You don't have to completely eliminate all your favorite foods. Having a slice of birthday cake or grabbing pizza with friends isn't going to suddenly blow the engine. A healthy lifestyle absolutely makes room for occasional treats, as long as you're putting premium fuel in the tank the vast majority of the time. It's your long-term, everyday dietary habits that matter, not just one single meal. So how do we actually implement this? Well, here are 5 super simple, sustainable steps. Step 1, cook at home a bit more. Step 2, try some new vegetables. Step 3, drink more water. Step 4, start reading food labels. And Step 5, eat mindfully. Notice how absolutely none of these say to go on a severe restrictive diet? Small, consistent tuning of your nutrition produces far greater and much longer-lasting results than those extreme dietary overhauls that are just impossible to maintain anyway. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, really important question to think about. What kind of fuel are you putting in your engine today? Every single healthy meal is a direct investment in your future. It supports your immune system, protects your heart, sharpens your mind, and keeps you running beautifully for decades to come. The choices you make today directly shape the health, happiness, and horsepower you are going to experience tomorrow. Treat your body like the luxury machine it is. Thanks so much for joining me today.